Ye showrunners on Joe Goldberg's deserved ending. In a fitting conclusion to its 7-season run, Netflix's psychological thriller You, starring Penn Badgley as the complex and deeply troubled Joe Goldberg, delivered a finale that ensured the character faced the consequences of his numerous horrific acts. The 10-episode 5th season, which premiered on Thursday, marked the end of Joe's twisted journey, one defined by obsessive stalking, manipulation, and murder. While the series did not end with Joe's death, showrunners Michael Foley and Justin Lowe were adamant that he would receive his comeuppance, a stark alternative to any form of redemption. In a recent interview, Foley explained their vision. We knew that we wanted him to face people whose lives he ruined. We wanted to show him at his most horrific and make him face what he really is, and in doing so, make us all face what we've been rooting for all these years. The popular series, which first debuted in 2018, is based on the compelling book series penned by Caroline Cattins. The final season placed Joe in a high-profile existence, married to the influential CEO Kate, portrayed by Charlotte Ritchie. Kate, having discovered the grim truth about Joe's deadly habits in season 4, found herself navigating life alongside a man whose elevated status robbed him of the anonymity he previously relied on, yet did nothing to diminish his inherent killer instincts. The narrative arc of season 5 saw Joe's violent tendencies resurface, culminating in a dramatic confrontation with his latest obsession, Bronte, played by Madeline Brewer. This violent encounter resulted in Bronte shooting Joe in the nether regions, an ironically painful turn of events for the serial killer, which also led to him becoming an unwilling subject of internet mockery as a meme. Following this incident, Joe was apprehended and subsequently charged with the murders of 2 significant figures from his past, Guinevere Beck, portrayed by Elizabeth Lail, from the first season, and Love Quinn, played by Victoria Pedretti, a central character in seasons 2 and 3. The culmination of these charges led to Joe's sentencing to life in prison, a fate that mirrored the confinement he imposed upon many of his victims throughout the series, finding himself enclosed within a cage much like the ones he frequently utilized. The show's final scene offered a poignant, albeit unsettling, look at Joe's mindset even in captivity. Sitting in his prison cell, he is shown reading mail, including a letter from a self-professed fan. His internal monologue, a signature narrative device of the show, questions his predicament. Why am I in a cage when these crazies write me all the depraved things they want me to do to them? He then turns his focus outward, concluding, maybe the problem isn't me. Maybe it's you. According to showrunner Justin Lowe, this fan letter and Joe's subsequent reflection served as a deliberate opportunity to indict the series' audience. Lowe explained that the scene's purpose was to show that Joe doesn't take responsibility for any of his actions and he has to keep blaming people. He added, if it's not the women, it's society. It sort of opens up the lens at the very end of the show and turns a mirror on all of us. The creative team, including Foley, Lowe, and series star Penn Badgley, who also served as an executive producer, were united in their goal to portray Joe as an even more monstrous figure in the final season. Badgley has historically played an active role in shaping his character's narrative arc each season, according to Lowe and Foley, and he brought his own ideas for season 5. Notably, Badgley advocated for Joe to appear shirtless in the mud and rain during the final episode's climactic showdown with Bronte. Foley recounted Badgley's reasoning. That was very much him saying, I need the world to see him at his worst, most horrific as an animal in the woods. That was really important to him, like, please pull no punches. All those things that we don't want to see in Joe, let's show those things. A crucial element of the final season involved giving a voice to several of Joe's victims, both those who survived his clutches and those who did not. This included the return of Marion, portrayed by Toddy Gabrielle, who played a significant role in assisting Kate, and a now freed Nadia, played by Amy Lee Hickman, in their efforts to finally bring Joe down. Even Bronte contributed to honoring a past victim, giving a voice back to her friend Beck by republishing Beck's book without Joe's manipulative edits and additions. The decision to bring these characters back into the narrative fold, coupled with Joe's return to New York City and the bookstore where his initial obsession began, was integral to Foley and Lowe's vision for concluding Joe's story arc. Lowe emphasized the importance of this choice, stating, it was definitely important to us to give a voice to some of the victims of Joe that had survived. That's the beauty of knowing your final season is the final season, is that we could choose which characters really felt like they deserved to have an ending. The finale aimed to provide a sense of closure for those affected by Joe's actions, highlighting that while Joe may continue to evade true introspection, the impact of his crimes on others was not forgotten.